Get your phone out of my face.
Okay. I wanted to come on today and talk to just you guys about what we're discussing on this group. And the reason that I'm doing this on a YouTube link are manyfold. The reasons that I'm doing it are manyfold. Number one, I have full control of the production and the editing, which if I should get a phone call or something, it won't stop the video. I can simply resume after the phone call is done with no real break, and I won't have to be asking who's up or anything like that. I want to address the situation with Amy. I read today the comments that we're making of the events that occurred during her last stay with her last host. Now, I did not see the video. Everybody kept alluding to a video, but looking at the comments, I could very quickly pick up on that maybe some of the blanks have been filled in, maybe some of the things that happened have been filled in, but I myself, from personal experience, can fill in even more blanks for you. But first off, before I embark on this endeavor, I would like to say my respect for Robert and my respect for what he does. He is a journalist like I am, and I am, in some small way, a journalist. But my scope of operation involves what I call doubling down, and I've learned that this is one of Amy's techniques. Is she will come on strong with a series of lies or half truths or just babble, and you naturally jump on it and you get in there and you start swinging. You very quickly run out of substance because there is no substance. And that combined with maybe a little bit of fear, even though you know it's all poppycock and you know that it's all nonsense, it's kind of walking through a minefield where you know where all the landmines are, but should you make a misstep, you're afraid something may happen that will jeopardize your enjoyment of life. If nothing else, a tremendous amount of harassment from the people who have been seduced by her never-ending story. Okay, I understand this. Also, she will sidestep, go on to another victim, host, boyfriend, bodyguard, whatever, and she quickly will just turn you off because she knows she can't win. So therefore, she'll go another direction. Okay, that is the reason that this group needs to sustain. That is the reason that we need to double down on this and keep her in the light. Keep her in the limelight. I don't understand. I can put the pieces together that apparently her and her associate dominated this old lady's home, car, food, whatever. And then when they had completely sucked all the blood they could out, apparently, I guess, family members intervened, and they intervened in a very quick fashion, which is what family needs to do, and helped free the old lady from the specter that was living with her. Okay. This is what happened at my house. I've said time and time again. Amy has raised several outright lies, and I placed on this site, I have placed actual photographs of the fire that occurred in my house. They really did. I never said that the house burned completely down. Now, there is a reason that the first fire that occurred here was not a part of the fire department record. From what I understand, they must deploy hoses before they actually will write a report. If they show up and said fire has already been subdued, then there's no reason for the fire department action, therefore there is no report. In the first fire, that is exactly what happened. My granddaughter put cold water in the catfish grease, it blew up. It primarily blew up the kitchen, which is right over here, okay? And it burned the cabinets up, the hardwood cabinets. It melted the microwave off the wall. It even destroyed the stovetop, where the microwave dripped and fell on the stovetop. When I came in and tried to stop the fire, the blast pushed me back up against the wall, and I sat down and was blinking when a sergeant who lives next door came over, had a fire extinguisher, and he extinguished the fire with a fire extinguisher. Not before the smoke and heat completely devastated the entire house. The entire house had to be completely repainted, work on the air conditioning ducts for the stink and the smell. It killed all the flies in the house. We found dead flies in the back bedroom, everything, okay? The suitcases referred to as thousands of dollars and everything were under the kitchen table right over here. And as I said, the microwave melted off the wall, and unfortunately, Amy's suitcases melted too. The miracle was is we were in the middle of this thing and nobody got hurt. That I can't explain. Somebody said we have Indian friends. We're members of an Indian tribe up in Washington State, and they gave us a something called a hamani that hangs outside. And this man told us, if you always have the hamani there facing the rising sun, then the spirit of the great spirit will come. And I guess it did, because nobody got their eyebrows singed. Well, I got my eyebrows singed. I really did. At any rate, her stuff, and I'm just going to go through a little history here, was taken to another location. They came up here in a U-Haul trailer, which kind of surprised me. But when she had to go back for this very famous case where she ended up putting a police officer in prison all by herself, she actually didn't do that. That was an ongoing case. This man apparently has stepped out of line several times with other people, and he may have stepped out of line on Amy, okay? Anyway, he did get reprimanded, lose his job and all this kind of stuff. But she had to suddenly jump up and run back to Houston. Now, several things come up that contradict what she's saying. Very famous case, okay. She told us when she put the stuff in my other house, or our other house, I don't own it. She says it was originally $200,000, $250,000. Now I think she's got it up to half a billion dollars worth of valuable items. Well, she's got control of $500 million in antiques, famous paintings, silver, gold, jewels, all this. But I had to give Steve $40 and put him on a bus to get her back to Houston. Now that's a fact. That is a fact. Okay. Then she says she had to clean up my house. Well, I'm a bachelor. I live in a party. It wasn't a homeless shelter. And old Sonny, my friend that died, old Sonny died. This house was not in disrepair when she got here. Period. Sonny was a homosexual. I am not a homosexual. But if you know a good homosexual who's 70 years old, they always go around and dust and clean. And in fact, Sonny was the one that rebuilt or redid the cabinets after the fire. He also was a carpenter, okay? She did not come in and, quote, unquote, pull this house together. That is a lie, okay? She might have done laundry, but that was probably the laundry from her 2 suitcases of clothes that she brought over here. My laundry is very simple when I'm alone. I change clothes each day. The dirty clothes I throw in the washer. At the end of 5 or 6 days, I look and I got them down to like 1 suit of clothes. It's time to push the wash button. That's usually Saturday or Sunday. Then Monday, I began the whole cycle again. I am not out of control. That is a lie. This is Amy's method of operation. She is perpetually homeless. Quote unquote, we've moved 4 times in the last 40 days, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Do the math. Just do the math. It's right there in your face. Do it. Okay. The things that she says border on fanciful stories to outright lies. Okay. The Houston Police Department is not, quote unquote, after her. She has demonstrated on many occasions that she is an unreliable witness. Okay. In fact, her witness is probably not beneficial in court. She is a formal mental patient, which if a good defense to anything she says is simply getting her to recite how many mental hospitals she's been in And we know, Brother Theo and I know how many she's been in because he knows the people at the Austin State Hospital. This is not speculation. These are people we really know. The other fact is, many cases she's won and how powerful she is and very famous, much more famous than me or Robert, okay? But she still doesn't have her kid. Again, do the math. Do the math. She still doesn't have her kid, okay? My grandchildren were never hidden. They were never hidden. And as a matter of fact, I'll tell you why. I can tell you exactly why they were never hidden. At one point, we were winding up all these cases that were coming down from the CPS. Investigator came to see us, highly placed individual with the Child Protective Services, whom I cannot reveal his name because I have an agreement with him. He wanted to locate them. I made a FaceTime call. He said, "Hi, buddies," and he closed the case. But I told him, it's really odd that nobody had told you this because he was new to the department being assigned. They get a check from CPS, the result of a lawsuit. That is a paper check that goes to precisely where they're at. Now, how hidden are they? When there was communication between the Austin CPS and the Texas CPS concerning these children, and communication with me at this very house right here, openly, with FaceTime calls and all this, how are they hidden? How are they hidden? They are hidden from sociopaths like Amy. That's who they're hidden from. They are protected from people like that. I might say that her daughter Markel is subsequently hidden. Okay? We're reasonably sure where Markel is. Did we dig into it? Was it a very important thing that we had to get in there and find out what is? No. Because she deserves her privacy. If she is disturbed at this point, as you know, my granddaughter has a reactive attachment disorder. Markel is a prime candidate for RAD. We won't do anything that's going to enhance this and give the McDonald's any problem whatsoever. We're not going to dig into that. Now, with Amy, she's not going to stop until she is incarcerated or she's placed in a mental hospital indefinitely, involuntarily. She is not going to stop. Her actions have deprived people of money, of material, of their sense of peace, all these things, okay? I am not Scary Wilbur. I forgot all about it. The reason she was angry with me is when she got to Houston for her very famous case, they called while I was working. And I couldn't take the call, just like right now. I rigged up this very video so if a call comes in, I can continue what I'm doing and then take the call and go back. She got down there and got in the pickle in court. I don't know what the pickle was. I don't know. I said I thought it was about that police officer, but I'm beginning to think it was a DWI or a drug thing or something like that. I don't know. We haven't researched that. When you research Amy, you have to go under all of her aliases. Amy DeWeird, Amy Klein, Amy whatever. There are many aliases. There are many rabbit trails you've got to go down, so it's hard. Her true age, her true weight, her true location, all of these things smack of a con artist who is basically homeless. Okay? So in conclusion, I want to say, while you might not see me chime in heavily every day, I'm always here and I'm always listening and I'm always watching. And you remember that landmine, that minefield I told you about? Okay. There are mines out there, but we're not going to set them off. Amy's going to set them off. They're out there. And I'm always waiting and I'm always watching. And one day that foot's going to hit the wrong landmine and that will be the end of Amy.